It's 6:30. I'd like to call this meeting of the Finance Committee to order for Thursday, March 14th, 2024, in the Wacoit Meeting Room. First order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, if we can have a moment of silence for those who have lost their lives in service to our communities. Thank you. Is there anyone here for public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the Finance Committee meeting for Thursday, March 7th, 2024, in open session.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the meeting minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none. Any opposition to approving the minutes of Thursday, March 7th, 2024? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. All right, that brings us to appointments and hearings. Lee, would you read the notice?
Yes. Public hearing notice, Mashpee Finance Committee, fiscal year 2025 operating budget. The Finance Committee will conduct a public hearing on the fiscal year 2025 operating budget of the town of Mashpee, submitted by the town manager. Said hearing will be held on Thursday, March 14th, 2024, at 6:30 p.m. in the Wacoit Meeting Room, Mashpee Town Hall, 16 Great Neck Road North, Mashpee, Massachusetts. Copies of the budget are available in the office of the town manager. We are broadcast live on local cable channel 8, streamed live on the Town of Mashpee website, which is https://www.mashpeema.gov/channel-8. You can submit comments and questions via email to fincom, F-I-N-C-O-M, at mashpeema.gov prior to the meeting date and time. Per order of Mashpee Finance Committee, Jeffrey C. Pettengill, Chair, Darlene G. Furbush, Lee Smith, A. Gregory McKelvey, Jamie Shu, Glenn Thompson, and Richard Weiner.
Thank you. Public hearing is now open. Mr. Collins, would you like to present your budget?
Well, I
Any?
didn't come here to really present, other
No.
than to just answer any issues
Yeah.
that came up at the 11th hour. Obviously, it has been presented before the board. It's been presented before the Finance Committee. I am pleased to report that in the end, we were able to avoid any override. I would also point out, I think the only two people in the audience from the school and I were able to reach a compromise that we're both satisfied with relative to balancing the budget and making sure that there were no mission-critical items that were neglected, and that includes personnel. So it's essentially a level service budget although there are some warrant articles that will be forthcoming in concert with this, that town meeting will have to make decisions on. But overall, as far as the operating budget, as well as the CIP, which obviously I participated in, I'm comfortable with the numbers, and in the end, where we decided to submit and recommend.
Thank you. Thank you very much. At this time, are there any questions regarding the town's operating budget? Anyone on the committee or in the audience? Hearing none, thank you. The chair will now entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Motion, adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on adjourning the public hearing? Hearing none. Any opposition to adjourning the public hearing? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. Thank you very much, Mr. Collins. Next, I see no one from the select board for speaking, no one from the school committee. That brings us into old business. We have nobody to provide additional information on the agenda. At this point, we've got 3 articles still on hold.
I think Mr. Collins wants to talk.
Yep.
If I could, Mr. Chair, the town does respectfully request that the snow and ice article be removed. We are not going to need any funds,
Okay.
so that's good news. And also, we do have a number for Chapter 90, and this is hot off the press today. We just received this today, so I'm going to distribute this to you.
That would be great. It's this one here. Getting rid of that article.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much.
And just for the record, Mr. Chair, it should say draft 3.
Yep. All right. Great. So which one, there it is, Article 18 in draft 3. 596,056. All right.
Could I ask a question to the town manager on the snow removal?
Yeah.
What did the numbers finally come in at snow removal? How much did we spend?
I don't have the final numbers. I was just advised today that we were not going to need it. Obviously, it's the only thing that we can deficit spend on, as you know. So what we do is we come in with an item for, or I should say a number. Bless you. We come in with a number for town meeting, but we don't actually bring it in until we're sure that we're not going to have any more snow or ice issues. And I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're good
Yeah, I hope
at
so.
this point.
Is salt and sand included in that?
Yes, any of those treatments. But as it stands right now, we've had a mild winter, relatively speaking. I know we had one storm that was of significant snowfall, But I was told that we're not going to need an article for snow and ice. That's what I thought. And just to remind you, we do not budget that much.
No.
But that is consistent with recommended practices, because if you adjust that, you have to maintain that. And obviously, we've chosen not to.
When does the excess go back into free cash?
Any turn back would go into certified free cash. And what that amount is, I don't know, but I was pleased to learn that we're not going to need that article. So that should be reflected in the draft that I just,
Yeah. And I see there's a new
Delivered.
article added to the special warrant. Article number 6. See if the town will vote to rescind authority on unissued balances.
I thought I had mentioned that. Actually, I might have mentioned that only to the select board and not to the finance committee. That is essentially to rescind the funds, or I should say the authorization that we don't need. And at the time that we sought that, we did it so that I would be able to sign the paperwork at the time.
Okay. Okay, yeah, and I see what it's for, okay, that's fine. And were there any other articles added? There are additional articles in the town warrant.
I know that there was some renumbering, and I haven't thoroughly checked that out, but that was consistent with the order that the select board had requested. And obviously,
Yeah.
the warrant is their agenda.
Yep, not a problem. We just need to find out which ones are new so that we can take and address them. All right. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
All right. So at the moment, this would be a chance to look at any of those we have on hold. And if anybody's ready to take action to remove the hold and then vote to take action on those articles. The first one I have on hold is in the special, it's Article number 10, which is the use of community preservation money for several lots of land. Had it on hold, awaiting an amount, and there's still no amount associated with it.
Then we should keep it that on hold.
Okay. All right, that would then bring us to Article number 5, which is the Cape Cod Regional Technical School. We have been provided with a copy of the presentation the superintendent will be making Monday night to the school, the select board. So, give everybody a time to look that over and probably deal with that next week. That brings us to the old Article 14, which is now Article 18 in the third draft of the warrant. This is regarding the Chapter 90 funds. The amount that they're looking to raise, borrow, or transfer from available funds and appropriations is the sum of $596,056. This will all be reimbursed by the state. All right.
I make a motion that we remove the hold on what used to be Article 14, now Article 18.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to remove the hold. Any discussion regarding removing the hold on this article? Hearing none, any opposition to removing the hold on this article? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. Chair will now entertain a motion regarding Article 18.
I move that we approve, recommend that we approve Article 18.
I second that.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to recommend Article 18. Any discussion? Hearing none, and then we'll take a vote. Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Okay. We have another article on hold. Let's see, I need to know where that one has moved to. It was Article 25 in the second draft. Well, for this purpose, it would be easier for me to find it in that draft. It's Article 25.
The other source one?
No, this is,
What's the new article?
that the town will vote to appropriate and transfer the sum of $150,000 from the Waterways Improvement Fund to the engineering permitting dredging and associated expenses account, or take any other action related thereto. There hadn't been an amount on it originally, so the chair will entertain a motion to remove the hold.
What's the new article number?
I don't know what the new article is.
29?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve, so we can talk about it.
We got a motion we've got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We got a motion and a second to remove the hold. Is there any discussion regarding removing the hold? Hearing none. Any opposition to removing the hold? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. The chair will now entertain a motion to take action regarding Article 29.
I move that we make a recommendation to approve Article 29.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to approve Article number 29. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right, that there. That was the last one we had on hold. So we currently still only, we have two articles still on hold, which we will have to resolve next week.
What's the new numbers on those two articles?
Which articles?
The ones that are still on hold? Article 6?
We haven't dealt with, it's still Article 10 in the special warrant. And it should still be 4 in the new draft. No, it's not 4 in the new draft.
No, it's not 4. Article 6?
Yes, no, that's not it. School district is down to Article 9. All right, so that brings us out of old business into new business. Mr. Collins, anything else you would like to update us on, not budget related?
I think at might be intertwined with a budget item, but I do realize that the Finance Committee has already taken a vote relative to the petitioned article. I believe it's Article number 33. There is a memo being drafted that will be submitted, I believe, Monday night, relative to some concerns from the DPW director regarding the impact of the floodplain in all of these streets. She's evaluating some information for the purposes of preparing this memo, and what I had specifically stated today when this was brought to my attention is that I want to make sure that the lead petitioner has an opportunity to be heard and an opportunity to come in for the purposes of listening to whatever the concerns are. That's only fair. And also, obviously, regardless of whether or not there are any changes that go to town meeting ultimately, because it's a petition article, it will go to town meeting. I don't know if some of the concerns can be alleviated or not. Again, these are all things that are developing at the 11th hour. So at this juncture, all I can say is we just want to make sure that the figure that was provided to these folks is the accurate figure for the purposes of the article. And I guess I can only say at this juncture, stay tuned, because there may be some relevant information that needs to be taken into consideration before the warrant is executed and before it goes to town meeting. And ultimately, again, it will be decided at town meeting as to what happens, but I know there is some concern as to whether or not that figure is accurate anymore based on some new information.
Yeah.
So you think it'll be more?
Yes, potentially. But I don't want to misspeak.
No.
I'm just cautioning you, in fairness to you folks, that that is literally a work in progress, and we are going to be contacting the lead petitioner, if we haven't already, in order to make sure that he is there. And I just wanted to make you aware
Yeah,
of it.
no, I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's really the only update that I have. It's kind of intertwined with money, but
Isn't everything?
Yes.
Do we need more sand on the beach?
well,
That's a good question.
we don't. But at the end of the fiscal year, I am authorized to transfer, subject to approval, certain sums from one account to the other for the sole purpose of certain items. And it looks like we're going to be taking something out of a DPW, I think it was a salary account, for the sake of taking care of the beach renourishment. We'll go through the approval process and the review process, but it doesn't look like we're going to have to hit you up for your reserve fund.
That's good.
But to answer your question, beach renourishment was way over, deeply into the red. I want to say it was well over $50,000. Yeah, but we've taken care of it, because otherwise we're not going to have a beach, and we're not going to have a parking lot. So until I hear that the town no longer wants that, we're going to continue to provide the renourishment. But trucking in that sand does cost money.
Is there any way to protect it?
We've actually protected it the best way we know how. And that whole design, actually, I believe, was initiated, if I'm not mistaken, with somebody on the Finance Committee. Oscar, what was his name? Isn't that awful? Oscar Clennett, I believe, was the person that was brainstorming some of that information. So if you are ever down there during a storm, you will see that it doesn't erode like it used to all the way to the parking lot. It just goes to the stairs, and then you'll see the structure, but it's not anywhere near as bad in terms of erosion as it used to be. I remember the days, as I'm sure everybody here does, when you could drive down there and it was just flat and you could look out and see the vineyard. And I think that's why the town didn't take the state beach when they had the opportunity. If we knew what we knew, if we knew then what we know now, I think we probably would have taken the state beach.
Does that have less erosion?
Oh, yes, and it's a much larger parking lot, and I don't think the state's in any danger for a while of losing that.
Anything else for the town manager? Hearing none, thank you again. That will move us on to the Capital Improvement Program's 5-year plan.
Is there two articles that are still outstanding on hold, Articles 6 and 7, in this new handout?
I do not, yet, because I have not actually gone through that. We've all just got it for the first time. So I don't know where the numbering system, and when we get to going through the new articles, we'll find out. We should have addressed everything that was currently on hold. Anything else would be new articles.
Because on the handout here, they got Articles 6 and 7 still on hold.
Well, that may be with the select board's hold, not ours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when it says hold at the top, it's usually the select board has them on hold.
Yeah, select board.
All right. So we've been provided with copies of the 5-year CIP plan. Starting last year, we've included this in our report. So what I'd like to do is entertain a motion to accept the 5-year plan for inclusion in our report.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion regarding including the 5-year CIP plan in our report? Hearing none. Any opposition to including this CIP 5-year plan in our report? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. Thank you. All right, now comes the fun part. We're going to take a look at the new draft, identify the new articles, and see what we can do about taking action on those. There we are, draft 3. All right. Special article, special warrant. Article number 1, that is the old number 2. Article 2 is the old 3. Article 3 would be the old 4. 5 would be the old 6. And that brings us to Article 6, which is the new article. To see if the town will vote to rescind the authority to issue the following unissued balance of the authorized bond or note pursuant to the vote adopted under the following article to the extent not previously exercised or take any other action relating thereto. Town meeting for October 16th, 2023, Article number 1, $7,500,000 Purpose Planning and Design Phase 2 wastewater initiative. The Chair will entertain a motion regarding this article.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We've got a motion to recommend. Is there a second?
I'll second it, so we can talk.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Discussion. So basically what this article comes down to is last October, we voted to issue the bonds to pay for Phase 2. Don't need that bond anymore, so this is now authorizing the cancellation of that. Any further?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Well, that's a motion we're gonna vote on in a second. I'm just waiting to see if there's any more discussion on it. Any further discussion on Article 6?
So this will just go away?
Yes.
It eliminates the authorization.
Yeah. That means nobody can, in the town's name, issue bonds for that. All right. And hearing no further discussion, we'll take a vote. Glenn?
Yes.
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Yes. I'm a yes.
So it'll get deleted totally then? It just gets deleted?
The bond, the authorization to issue it.
The article gets deleted though?
No, the article stays. The article has to be voted on at a town meeting.
Okay.
We just recommend that the town people vote to rescind those authorizations. Article 7, is still the same, 8's the same, 9's the same, and 10's the same. All right. And the actual warrant, the first article is the same, the second is the same, the third will be the same. All right. Article number 4 is the same. I think we got a new. Article number 5 is new. All right, Article number 5. To see if the town will vote to repurpose a portion of the appropriation and borrowing authorization for capital improvements approved under Article 11 at the May 1st, 2023 annual town meeting and excluded from the limitation of Proposition 2.5, General Law, Chapter 59, Section 21C, at the May 6th, 2023 annual town election to the following purposes as recommended by the Capital Improvement Program, CIP Committee, including all costs incidental or related thereto, and to authorize the treasurer with the approval of the select board to issue bonds and notes for such purposes as follows. Yeah, DPW masonry wall restoration, $80,000. Police station design engineering, $2,700,000. Total, $2,780,000, or to take any other action relating thereto. Chair will entertain a motion regarding Article 5.
I move that we recommend approval.
I second it.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Collins, can you explain this a little bit to us?
You're referring to the police design?
Yeah, the police design and the DPW masonry wall.
Yes. So what happened is the original article stemmed from the HVAC system that was in desperate condition. And long story short, as they say, it was determined when there was an air quality examination conducted that there were some serious issues that existed at the police station. And combined with some inspection failures by the state in the cell block area, there was a concern as to whether or not, my words, not their words, putting lipstick on a pig in order to solve a problem. So at this point, it was suggested that we would be better off taking a look at more of a long-term solution than a short-term resolution, and whether or not that was going to be a renovation or whether it was going to be a new facility, which obviously would be pricey, was something that was analyzed in depth with the engineers and the DPW director. In the end, it was suggested that this is the way to go, given the current condition and given all of the contributing factors that went into the analysis. I do know that at least one of you, if not more of you, have gone over to the site to visit the facility. And as they say, seeing is believing, and there are certain conditions over there that are in need of desperately being addressed one way or the other, regardless of whether or not there's a new facility, a renovated facility, or what we do. We're going to have to pony up and spend some money in order to fix some of these problems.
All right, now, question I have is that.
Oh, and the DPW facility, it's more of the same type of situation. I think the DPW director, if she was here, could explain it in a little bit more detail. But again, we're just trying to get a grip on these facility issues, and I believe I can confidently tell you that the DPW facility and the police facility, to my knowledge, are the only town facilities left that really require some attention.
My question is, the amount authorized in Article 11 at last May's town meeting, was that the full $2,780,000?
Yes, I believe that's just being repurposed.
Okay,
If you vote to do this.
Right.
Again, it requires a vote, but essentially, the article before you, Mr. Chair, is to repurpose that.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was the full amount.
Yes.
Okay.
And where is the money coming out of?
The money that was actually authorized,
Yeah.
that would be essentially reauthorized if you did it. There was a debt exclusion that was previously voted, and if you were to take this alternative, you would need a two-thirds vote at town meeting, and
Right.
then in addition, you'd vote at the ballot for the exclusion.
You're right. Yeah, so basically last year, there was a article for a bond issue for the 2.78.
Yes.
Oh, there was a bond?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
that was approved.
So it's not trying to come out of.
For the HVAC.
No. It
Yes.
was approved for a different purpose. It was approved for the HVAC system upgrades. What this article is asking is to not do those HVAC system upgrades and take
Instead,
the
fix
bond issue for this purpose.
Exactly.
So the money was already appropriated.
No, it was approved.
It's already approved.
Nothing's been done with it yet, that's the thing.
We can't spend it for a different purpose.
Right.
Without the
Without asking.
authorization.
Right.
So we got to revisit town
Yep.
meeting. If there is a two-thirds, then we've got to go to the ballot.
Again.
That question has been already drafted, reviewed by council, bond council. I believe you should have it, or maybe you don't have that yet.
No.
But trust me, it exists because I saw it today.
Any further questions regarding Article 5? Hearing none, then we'll take a vote to recommend Article number 5. Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
I'm a yes. All right, Article number 6 is new. To see if the town will vote to reauthorize and extend for an additional 3 years the appropriation and transfer of the sum of $350,000 from the Capital Stabilization Fund for the purpose of resurfacing the Mashpee Middle High School parking lot as recommended by the Capital Improvement Committee, CIP Committee, and as previously approved at the May 3rd, 2021 annual town meeting by vote under Article 3 of the warrant or take any other action related thereto. Chair will entertain a motion regarding Article number 6.
Motion to approve.
For a second.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? So this is,
So it
Mon-
was voted on and approved, they just
in the-
didn't get to it yet.
as part of the
and-
capital stabilization fund use, but didn't get to it last year or this year? Is that what's going?
I believe it's tied to the solar canopies that Catherine has been exploring, and there's been delays there, and there was no point to resurface and then have them come in and disturb it to put in the solar canopies. So they're tied together somehow. That's why it was delayed.
Okay.
And will solar be added then, or not? Or-
They're still working on that. I think there's some Eversource issues in terms
Okay.
of.
So this could still be delayed.
Yeah. But this is at least extending it for 3 years.
Yeah.
All right. So this is money that's already been appropriated, and this is just reauthorizing it for.
Extending it for another 3 years.
For using, yes.
Yep, I move that we recommend approval.
Yep, that's what, again, that's what we're discussing right now. Is there any other discussion regarding Article 6? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to recommend Article number 6.
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right, let's see, Article 7 is also new. To see if the town will vote to repurpose the sum of $130,000 from the Department of Natural Resources FY 2023 capital account to the Department of Natural Resources FY 25 capital account as recommended by the Capital Improvement Program CIP Committee and approved at the May 2nd, 2022 special town meeting by vote under Article 5 of the warrant or take any other action relating thereto. Chair will entertain a motion regarding Article 7.
I make that motion to, I make a motion to recommend approval of that article.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Collins, can you give us a little background on this one? This is the Department of Natural Resources, repurposing of $130,000.
I wasn't prepared to speak on that particular article.
Number 7. Number 7, yeah.
I'm sorry?
Number 7.
Yeah, Article number 7.
They didn't spend all the money at Mercantile.
Yeah, I definitely want to have the DNR director speak on specifically the details of it being repurposed.
All right.
So it remains on hold then.
No, we've got a motion at the moment to recommend approval of Article 7. This is a time for discussion. We would have to have somebody come in to provide us additional information on it. Any further discussion on Article number 7? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to recommend Article number 7. Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
No.
Darlene?
Yes.
Lee?
No.
Jamie?
No.
And I'm a no. The motion does not pass.
And I believe what the DNR director would provide, if she were here, is a detailed account of the Secaucet Island facility, it being repurposed from the mercantile, but I'm not familiar with all the details on it.
The chair will now entertain another motion regarding Article 7.
I move that we put this article on hold.
Second.
We get a motion and a second. Any discussion on putting Article 7 on hold? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to put Article 7 on hold. Glenn? Richard? Darlene?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right. Article 8, to see if the town will vote to appropriate and transfer the sum of $273,858 from revenue available for appropriation to the loan origination fee account or take any other action relating thereto. Chair will entertain a motion regarding Article number 8.
What is this for?
Well, I think I'll make a motion,
Yeah.
just so we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna move?
I'll make a motion to approve it, just.
You're gonna
so we
make a
can
motion to
talk-
recommend, is there a second?
I'll second it.
So we can talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, what is this all?
We've got a motion and a second to recommend Article number 8. Mr. Collins, are you familiar with this?
I am familiar with it. We were made aware just recently that this sum was necessary for the purposes as described to be expended for the $54 million SRF loans. It's not something that was on our radar initially, and I believe it was finance that brought it to our attention that this is one of those items that nobody ever discussed throughout the entire process, but it is something we just were informed about probably, I'd say, within the past month. I know I was at a meeting with the school when I brought it up. About a month ago or 3 weeks ago? Oh, the end of the month of February.
What does SRF stand for?
That's our loan process for the sewer, and I can tell you that the finance director could probably explain exactly what the breakdown is of the amount.
But that 54 million was for the Phase 1, correct?
Yes.
So that was, that 54 million loan for Phase 1 that was approved a couple of years ago. And this is just the banking fee to process that.
That's my summary.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like $250 million to
Any further questions or discussion on Article 8?
Did we not know that we were going to be paying a loan fee at the time of taking out the
No.
money?
No, they were not aware.
There's $250,000 for a loan authorization, origination fee, wow. I'm in the wrong business.
For a $54 million loan, yeah.
Not surprising.
Mhm.
You have to pay the lawyers and who draw up the documents and.
All right. Any further discussion on Article 8? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to recommend Article number 8. Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
No,
Darlene?
Yes, we have to pay it.
Lee?
No,
Jamie?
No, only I would like to hear a little more about it.
yeah, it's,
All right, and I was a yes. So it doesn't pass at a tie. So the chair will entertain another motion regarding Article 8.
I make a motion to put that on hold until we have a little bit more information.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
We had a motion and a second to put Article number 8 on hold. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Glenn? Yes.
I just want to clarify, if I did come in with a little bit more information relative to the state revolving fund, would that potentially satisfy you?
I believe it will. I think that's why we're putting it on hold and have somebody come in next week with some more information.
Okay, so you do want somebody to come in?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll make sure somebody's here.
Yeah.
Because
for
what I don't
this one-
want to,
This one and the last one, we'd like somebody to come in, yes.
absolutely. I just wouldn't want to jeopardize the state revolving fund.
No, I think.
No, we're not opposed to
No.
paying what we owe. We just
Yep.
would like to
Yeah.
speak to maybe Dawn or.
Right. And I'll make sure that somebody can specify exactly what triggers that. But I think you hit the nail on the head, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, thank you. Any further discussion on putting Article 8 on hold? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to put Article 8 on hold. Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right, let's see if that, all right, Article 9 was Article 5. Article 10 was Article 6. 11. $50,000 available for, we've already taken action on that one. 12, we've taken action on. 13, we've taken action on. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is the old Article 14, which we just took action on to recommend. 19, we've taken action on. 20, we've taken action on. 21, we've taken action on. 22, we've taken action on. 23, we've taken action on. 24, we've taken action on. 25, we've taken action on. 26, we took action on. 27, we took action on. 28, we took action on. 29. 29, we still have on hold. We actually just took action on that.
Yes, we do.
30, we took action on. 31, we've taken action on. 32, 32, we still have on hold. 32, which is the petition article that we had taken in.
It looks like, isn't 32 new?
32 is new. Okay, it is new. All right, so I would thought that was the other one, so we got Article 32.
32.
To see if the town will vote to accept the layout as public way of Christopher Lane as shown on plans entitled Road Taking Plan Christopher Lane in Mashpee, Mass, Barnstable County, dated January 26, 2024, and prepared by Cape and Islands Engineering, which layouts shall have been filed in the office of the town clerk not later than 7 days prior to the date of vote hereunder, and to authorize the select board to acquire by gift, purchase, or eminent domain, taking any land necessary for the purposes of such ways as so laid out, and to appropriate the sum of $120,220 to the Christopher Lane roadways account, and to raise said appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the select board, be authorized to borrow at one time or from time to time under and pursuant to Chapter 44, Section 7 or 8, or any other enabling authority for such purchase or taking and layout, including costs of construction, such ways, and legal financing, and other costs incidental and related thereto, and further authorize the select board to assess betterments to the owners of the land abutting the ways, any premium received by the town upon the sale of any bonds or notes approved by this vote, less any such premium applied to the payment of the cost of issuance of such bonds or notes may be applied to the payment of costs approved by this vote in accordance with Chapter 44, Section 20 of the general laws, thereby reducing the amount authorized to be borrowed to pay such costs by a like amount, or take any other action relating thereto. The chair will entertain a motion regarding Article 32.
I move that we put this on hold.
We got a motion to put it on hold. Is there a second?
Second.
You got a motion and a second to put Article 32 on hold. Any discussion?
I have a question about, this was submitted by the select board, so this is not a petitioner's article.
That's correct.
It must be that the select board, or that the town would like to do this, is what I'm assuming, based on the fact that the select board submitted it. Although it doesn't explain why.
And they don't have a vote yet either.
Right.
That's true, yes. they
I
do.
just think we need more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
it's-
we
it's-
need to know, I would like to know whether the town is recommending this for a certain reason.
Mr. Collins, is there any information you have regarding this?
Which article?
Article 32. This is the road-taking plan for Christopher Lane.
Is this private way that's being taken, or is it a public way?
Yes,
As a layout as a public way, to make it a
Right.
layout, I mean a public way.
Is the land now public, or is it?
No, it's private.
Private.
It's private.
Yeah.
I'll get more info from the DPW.
okay, thank you, yeah. All right, any further discussion on Article 32? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to put Article 32 on hold. Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee?
Yes,
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right. That brings us to Article 33, which we have taken action on, which is the old Article 28. So, we have gone through all the new articles. That was a lot of them. All right. All right. Next on the agenda, we've got to go through the article explanations that have come in so far.
And I apologize, I will get on it.
Well, the first one we don't have to worry about.
Are those in here somewhere?
Yeah, you should have, a group.
There, right there, Jamie. That's it.
No, it looks like this.
This one?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at this.
No, that's the status report.
Oh, here it is, okay.
Used as a guide for trying to keep track of everything.
Good job.
All right, so, and these, just for everybody's clarification, these are all based on the second draft, the
Yep.
article numbering. All right. So we don't have to worry about Article 1 because that's been removed. Article 3, the Capital Stabilization Fund. This article appropriates and transfers $2,629,134 from revenue available for appropriations to the Capital Stabilization Fund. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. So what we're looking for is to make sure this explanation explains what the article does and does so as simply as possible so that the town taxpayers can understand it. There tend to be certain ways we try and remain consistent, which is starting with what this article does, which is appropriates and transfers, and whether or not it has a impact on the current year's tax rate. All right.
I think it's perfect.
What did she say?
She thought it was perfect, so I asked her if she voted.
I don't see any problem
I
with it
think you
myself.
covered I think whoever wrote this covered the priorities,
Yep.
or prerequisites,
right.
if you will.
Next, Article 6 is wastewater infrastructure transfer. This article will appropriate and transfer the sum of $1,600,000 from the wastewater infrastructure investment fund WIF to the temporary borrowing outside 2.5 to pay for the planning of Phase 2 of the wastewater initiative. The purpose of this transfer is to avoid borrowing money to pay for the planning, thus saving the town unnecessary interest costs. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Looks good.
Looks
Thank
good
you.
to me.
All right. Article 7. This article appropriates and transfers excess funds that were more than expected from the state. Because of this, they need to set aside extra money into the community preservation reserves.
I think it's a little confusing.
All right. This article appropriates and transfers excess funds that were more than expected from the state, all right? Article 7. Article 7.
What's the new number?
You got me.
It's actually, I think it's still actually 7 in the new warrant. I think it's still number 7.
We would want to add to that it wouldn't have any impact on the current tax rate.
Right,
You do want that.
yeah.
I think we just want to start over.
Impact. Current tax rate. This article appropriates and transfers.
So I don't think that it's necessarily excess funds that were more than expected.
Do. What I would think would be this article appropriates and transfers, would say additional FY 2024 state reimbursement received.
Say that again.
Which article were you looking
This article appropriates and transfers additional FY 2024
at? Oh, okay.
state reimbursement received. Additional reimbursement funds. Funds received.
To the community, like, are you just gonna make it one sentence there?
Yeah, probably,
Yes.
yeah, into their
Into-
community preservation reserves. Yeah, I think that, so what I've got is this article appropriates and transfers additional FY 2024 reimbursement funds received into their community preservation reserves. This will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
That's much better.
You want somebody from CPC?
No, this is just our explanation.
Explaining
Yeah,
the-
Yeah.
the wording is
Yeah,
bizarre.
yeah, no, these are articles we've already approved for the most part, and we're just trying to explain them to the taxpayer. Article 8, this article appropriates and transfers funds from the Community Preservation Fund to budget for appropriation reserve to fund the open space and recreation plan in order to update the town's open space and recreation plan, OSRP, which has not been updated since 2009. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
It's long-winded.
It's a run-on sentence, we need some
Yeah,
comments.
part of it is, you've got so many formal names in there which
Yeah.
take up so much space.
Yeah, but there definitely needs to be a comma before which has not been updated.
Okay. I'm good with that change. Anything else regarding that explanation? All right. It's Article number 10. This article appropriates and transfers funds from the Community Preservation Fund undesignated fund to balance to fund the Pickerel Cove Road, Pickerel Cove Circle project. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
That's good.
All right. That brings us down to 3. This article will appropriate and transfer, we've got the amount to put in there. From the Capital Stabilization Fund, DEP grant, and the Mashpee Cable and Advanced Technology Funds for the FY 2025 capital budget. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
So,
Except we need a dollar amount here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think we have it yet. Do we?
Yeah, it should be in the new draft.
Oh, okay.
is it the same number?
What, 4 million?
Yeah, 4,270,000.
No. That's, that was before the addition of the 256,000. The new is 4,526,634.
I'm sorry, say again,
4,526,634.
Wish somebody had put it in my bank account.
You want to take on all those projects?
No.
We should-
That looks, this one looks
We
good.
should stabilize your account though.
All right. All right, Article 5, which is now Article 9. This article approves the annual budget of $12,694,000 for the Cape Cod Regional Technical High School District for the fiscal year starting July 1, 2024. They will also vote to raise $1,142,273 to cover their share of the costs.
Would it sound better if it was,
Yeah, who's
who's
the,
they?
yeah,
We-
who's the
we-
there?
There will also be?
There needs to be clarified.
Approve the annual budget. Okay, this is the other part of this is that,
This unappropriated appropriates?
is the town.
Yeah, the 1 million is
Is-
Mashpee's share.
Right,
Yeah, so,
they will, this article will also, okay, this article. Will also raise and appropriate. And appropriate. The 1,142,233 to cover its share.
Mashpee's share.
Mashpee.
Mashpee.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'm good with that. Share of the operating and maintenance costs. All right, this article approves
Are
the.
you adding the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
This article approves the annual budget of $12,694,000 for the Cape Cod Regional Technical High School District for the fiscal year starting July 1, 2024. This article will also raise and appropriate $1,142,273 to cover Mashpee's share of the operating and maintenance costs.
This article will have no impact on,
Unfortunately, it does. It does have an impact on the tax rate, because that's part of the tax levy. And it goes into calculating that, so, yeah, all those other articles have tended to be either already assigned monies or from free cash.
yep.
All right.
So do you say that then? This article will affect your tax rate?
No, we just tend to point out those that don't.
Okay,
Leave that to the imagination.
fair enough.
Article 6, which is Article,
Wait.
10.
What's, this thing here shows that total cost to be more than 12 million that they just handed out. You're looking at for FY '24, 16 million.
Well, I have no idea because I have not gone through that. I've just gotten that paperwork tonight.
Yeah, I so have I.
Yeah, so,
I'm just doing this on the fly.
right.
Just like you are.
And
But,
what we've got is what the article says.
Okay, but
Okay,
I'm
so-
just pointing out that it's 16 million, not 12 million.
Well, whatever that article, that package says, they're not getting 60 million. We're authorizing 12 million.
Oh, okay.
That's all this article will do.
Okay.
And this presentation
probably
they
funds
did
coming
is the
from
12,600,000.
Other places, yeah, maybe, yeah.
So,
This
I'm trying
is,
to do this on the fly, too. Yeah, I haven't read this. I just see it.
And that may be why we actually have the articles still on hold at the moment, because none of us have had a chance to go through any of the financial information from the Cape Cod.
Yeah. No, I'm just pointing out that I haven't either, you know, I'm just looking at it live.
Dick, you're looking at the total, which includes state aid and local revenue. All we're interested in is
the budget.
the assessment, it seems to me, which is the 12,694,000. Yeah, it's right in here.
I mean, I haven't looked at it, I just look at the front page, that's all. I can just see 16 mil.
Yeah, but that includes the state aid and the local revenue. All we're interested in is the assessment.
The assessment, right, for us.
But even at the top of the page, it's 12,494,000. It's different, the numbers are different than they are here.
And all we're concerned with is what's in the article.
Okay.
All right. Article number 6, which is probably going to be whatever, 10.
Yeah, I think so.
This article raises and appropriates $476,292, which is Mashpee's required share of the debt for the Cape Cod Regional Technical District Building Project.
It's fine.
I think I'm pretty good with the way that says. Article 7 is the OPEB article. This article appropriates and transfers $250,000 from revenue available for appropriation to the other post-employment benefits irrevocable trust fund. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
It's good.
Perfect.
It's perfect, is what I meant to say.
Okay, it's perfect.
Excellent.
Oh, I see.
No impact on the tax rate.
Yeah.
You're so transparent.
We'll
I'm
go
not
down
humble at
to
all.
the old Article 10, which is to create a permanent public safety technician position. This article will create and fund a new full-time position within the Information Technology Department, specifically working within the police and fire departments. This new public safety technician will provide critical information technology support for those departments. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Looks fine.
Don't we have to call out a amount of money that is involved in that?
In our explanation, no. It's in the article.
That one's,
Yeah,
Jamie,
if you wanted
that
to
one's
do that, it would
perfect.
just get too cumbersome for the taxpayer to read, in my opinion. Article 11, yeah, upgrade a part-time administrative clerk position. This article upgrades one part-time clerk position to full-time at the Mashpee Police Department. Total yearly cost, $91,986. Not sure if we need that last line, but it does need the line about this will have no impact on the current.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you need to say that it's not gonna have an impact.
Yeah, I would take that out
I
or
would
make
too.
it a complete sentence.
I just, do you really feel it needs to be in there, except for this will have no impact?
Yeah.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think the dollar amount needs
No,
to be
it's-
there,
No.
Take that whole thing.
but this will have no impact on the current year. All right. All right. That will bring us to Article number 12, create a full-time maintenance. This article authorizes the creation of a permanent full-time maintainer, one position within the Department of Public Works, and appropriates and transfers the funds necessary to fund the position for the fiscal year. What I think I may, listen to the other one. All right, appropriates and transfers the funds necessary to fund the position for the fiscal year. This will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Fine.
I'm just wondering if the one on Article 10 should have that same
Oh,
statement about appropriates and transfers the funds necessary.
that,
Well, no, it says it will create and fund.
Create permanent.
Okay. Creation. What I might suggest is to make these two articles consistent, is to change the start of it to be, this article will create and fund a new full-time maintainer one.
I think consistency would be a good thing.
This article will create and fund. And fund a new. Do you want the word permanent in each of those?
Is that,
Is it-
yeah, is that necessary to have permanent?
I don't think so if you're talking about a full-time position.
Yeah,
I-
once
I
it's
would-
created, it's not
No.
taken away.
Okay. All right, so, this article will create and fund a new full-time maintainer one position within the Department of Public Works. And we can get rid of the rest of that sentence. Then the last line is fine. All right, Article 14. Road improvements of chapter, this article raises, borrows, or transfers funds from available funds and appropriates funds for road improvement projects under chapter 90. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
When I wrote that, I didn't know the amount. Should I include the amount in there?
No, we don't need to.
Okay.
Just the funds. The only thing we may want to say is that these funds will be completely reimbursed by the state.
Okay.
Oh, that's, yeah,
That's a biggie.
that's a good sentence to put in there.
All right. Good addition. All right. Article 17 is the Kids Club Enterprise Funds. This article appropriates $532,125 for the operation of the Kids Club Enterprise Fund for fiscal year 2025. The proposed budget authorizes the Recreation Department to operate a toddler preschool program as a self-sufficient, self-funded operation. All costs related to this program are projected to be offset by the revenues of the program. Any monies in excess of the expenses will remain in the account. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
It's good.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Yep,
Yep.
sounds good to me.
Article 18.
Are they really
community-
gonna be able to raise $500,000, $532,000?
And they're self-sufficient. They're totally maintaining
Yeah,
that
I know.
organization by itself.
There's a lot of money to raise, so.
Article 18, this article appropriates and transfers $40,000 to provide annual funding for administrative and operational costs of the Community Preservation Committee. Let's see. That's Article 18.
Do we need to add something about the impact on the current tax rate there?
I want to see what the article says here, just a minute. Okay, so this is money that's coming from reserve, their reserve account. think it needs to identify,
Where the 40K comes from.
yeah, where it's coming from,
Yeah.
from the community preservation. Fund budget for reserved. To provide annual funding for the administrative and operational costs. And then, yeah, then we can add that this will have no impact on the current year tax rate. All right. I think that will be good for that one. 19. This article appropriates and transfers funds from the Community Preservation Fund 10% open space recreation reserves to fund the Heritage Park Improvement Phase 2 project. This use of funds is in accordance with the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 44B, subsection 5. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Fine.
Looks good to me.
I don't see any
Great.
problem with it.
No,
Nope, that's good.
looks perfect, Jeff.
You
You're
know what?
Johnny-
I
you're
can
Johnny
give you a
OneNote.
few more if you want to write them.
All right, we're down to Article 21. This article authorizes the Select Board to grant an easement to Eversource Energy to access Asher's Path. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. I think that one's good.
Looks fine.
Article 24, amend Section 17425. This article will amend the Mashpee zoning bylaws regulations to authorize an indoor pickleball recreation facility in the I-1 zoning district by special permit. This will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
So I put the word pickleball in there because I figured
You figured,
the public would want to hear that word, you know? It doesn't specifically
Yeah,
mention it.
that's the only
That's
thing,
good.
that's the only thing I'm wondering.
how does it read?
Because I know that many people in the community know that this is happening. They know that it's pickleball. They're excited for that. But it doesn't necessarily read that way in the
No.
warrant article. I wasn't sure if they were intentionally leaving that out. I figured,
Because it applies to more than just that.
yeah, because they want to put a bar there and.
Well, no,
other
no,
things.
it would apply to more than just pickleball. For, you know, the way the explanation reads, it's only for pickleball. As opposed to the modification to the bylaws would apply to more than just pickleball.
True.
Yeah, that,
So that's
Yeah.
the only concern I've got.
Okay.
I would look at it the same way, because, and I'm looking at it from my husband's point of view, who was on the zoning board. He'd look at it and think, well, it's restricted to, the way this reads, it's sort of restricted to
Pickleball only.
pickleball.
Okay, take the word pickleball out. My bad.
Let me see. So this is, to authorize indoor recreational facilities, yeah, so just read pickleball, and it should be fine. That brings us to Article 25. This article appropriates and transfers $150,000 to the Department of Natural Resources for dredging projects.
Do we need to say where the money's coming from?
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah, okay, so it comes from the Waterways Improvement Fund. Yeah, I think it's already within the Department of Natural Resources. But I think we should probably name the accounts to it's going into. To the engineering. Permitting dredging.
We need to add a statement about, doesn't affect the current
Right, yeah.
tax rate.
Permitting, et cetera, so 150,000 from the Waterways Improvement Fund to the engineering, permitting, dredging, and associated expenses account for dredging purposes. This will have no impact on the current year tax rate. There. Article 26, this article authorizes the extension of the Santuit Pond Resiliency Projects, stormwater improvement and nutrient inactivation, and appropriates and transfers of funds necessary to complete the project with revenue available for appropriations. This project was originally approved during the May 2nd, 2022 town meeting. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
I think it covers it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that brings us to Article 28. This article is to see if the town will vote to accept the layouts as public ways of Chickadee Road, Debbie Lane, Manitoba Road, Metacomet Road, Nahoyden Road, Nashobe Road, Pontiac Road, Samoset Road, Wamisit Road, and Whippoorwill Circle. This article has no impact on the current year tax rate.
I think it covers it.
Mm.
And you did very well naming all those streets.
You get an
All
article-
right.
you get an
Do you want to
article.
assign the new articles? Whose are we still waiting on?
I've got my articles assigned, I just haven't written them.
Yeah.
Are there others we're missing?
Well, the new ones we just got
Richards.
tonight.
Oh,
And Greg's. Yours, Richards, and Greg's.
Chop, Darlene.
Once I get the new numbering, I'll be able to tell, and I'll contact a couple of people who are ready.
Okay,
Okay. I can do some.
Yep,
me too.
yep. Oh, you were the two I'd be looking at besides me.
in that case, you could just go right there.
Yeah. All right, so that gets us through those. The next item on the agenda is the draft of the opening letter that I sent everybody.
Yep.
Again, this is nowhere near completion. Things like the new tax rates have to be put in there. The main thing is, the articles that I've identified, are there anything that you don't believe should be pointed out? Well, ones, based on draft 2 anyways, that we wanna point out that aren't there. And I'm sure there are definitely ones from draft 3 that need to go in there, especially the Article 5, the special warrant article that was added needs to be pointed out.
I just had a bunch of grammar and syntax stuff. Do you want me to?
Sure.
So you've got Board of Selectmen there in the first sentence, and don't we call it Select
Yep,
Board
yeah, that needs to be
now?
changed now. Yep.
And then at the bottom of that first paragraph, of the remaining 9 articles, you need a comma after articles before of. Of the remaining 9 articles, comma, of particular interest or
Okay,
following.
thank you.
And then in the next bullet point there, revenues available for appropriations, I don't think you need S's on either of those words, right? Revenue available for appropriation.
Okay,
And then under that, it says Board of Selectmen again.
All right.
And then in the second bullet point there, I don't know, I could be wrong about this, but the design of the wastewater collection, treatment, and effluent recharge initiatives, that should, all of those words should be capitalized, no? Wastewater
They
collection.
aren't in the article.
No?
No.
That's weird, because it is an initiative, so that's its proper name, right? You do need an apostrophe in initiative, though, right?
I think so.
Because it's the
The
phase two
of
of
that.
the initiative.
Right.
So we need an apostrophe there. And then I
Is the-
thought,
Is there one there? Yeah, we got one there.
The apostrophe is in the end of the initiatives.
To go before the S.
oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Gosh, maybe I need reading glasses. But yeah, it should be between the E and the S.
Well,
Yes.
the only thing I was wondering is, let me just see how it's, if they've got it listed as initiatives,
Initiatives.
Oh, because it's more than one
yeah.
initiative. Then you're right, and I'm just blind.
It's hard to see. That's why I have the glasses. I can understand why it's hard to see.
Actually, let's go to the,
I think the font is,
Yeah, I thought maybe it was my printer set.
well, yours looks smaller than this.
Wicked small,
Yeah.
yeah.
let's see, get that. Treatment and effluent recharge initiatives. I think I took that sort of from how, because it doesn't go into as great a detail of the name in the article itself.
No.
We'll take a look at the naming convention for it. We'll take a look at that.
And then in the following sentence, this could just be me being a nerd, but I thought the phrase "prevent having to borrow money" seemed a little awkward. I thought it should just be, the purpose of this transfer is to avoid borrowing money to pay for this part of the.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I believe in a former life I was an editor at a publishing
I was
company.
gonna ask whether you're pretty good at it. What did you?
I have an English minor.
Okay, there it is.
And then in the next bullet point, again, instead of prevent having to borrow money, avoid borrowing money.
See,
And
I've
then,
dealt with enough editors, I can take the criticism.
what?
I've dealt with enough editors.
Well, this was your first draft. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah.
redlined.
I'm going to say that I think his first draft is great, and I think your input is even better. How's that?
So then in the next bullet, it's
Politically popular.
Articles 7 through 10, not 7
Yeah,
and 10.
that's what I had too,
Yeah.
310.
Originally, I was only thinking about just the two articles instead of all of them.
And then in the second bullet under that, Article 8 is to fund updating the open space and recreation plan, comma,
Yeah.
which has not been updated since 2009. And the next bullet, Article 9, is to fund the Ashumet, but should be no N in that. And at the end of that sentence, which will reduce public health risks, right? Not which is to.
Which is to, which,
And then the last sentence of that bullet, for expenses from Joint Base Cape Cod through an or the Environmental Services Agreement, but not and with a D,
I think it's on, and, yeah.
and. And then the next bullet, there were 2 periods at the end of that.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to go for the ellipsis. Didn't quite make it.
And then further down where you talk about Article 4 in that bullet, it says with the select board's approval, but you need a apostrophe in there.
With the select boards.
Yeah.
And then the next bullet, Article 9 through 13, authorize the creation. I thought there should be a "the" in there.
Okay.
Authorize the creation and upgrading of positions and appropriates and transfers.
Either that or I change it to creating.
Authorized creating and upgrading.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
more sense, because
Yeah.
then
And get rid of the of. Authorize creating and upgrading positions.
Positions, yeah.
Yep. And then on the next page there, Article 21, you don't need that S, Article 21.
Oh,
And there's an S on Article 26 and 27 and 28 as
That's
well.
because I copied.
And then in that bullet about Article 27, I think you need a "the" before Massachusetts Department of Children and Families, because you've got the "the" for all the other agencies.
Okay.
And then I do believe that you need a comma after Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, comma, which will allow the town
Okay.
to seek reimbursement.
All right.
I'm sorry, am I
all right.
nitpicking you to
No.
death?
I think
No.
you're doing a great job.
I
Not at
just,
all.
I'm a nerd, and I want to make sure everything is perfect if our names are going on
I
it.
am
I
very,
am
I'm
the sa-
sorry.
I am the same way with reading other people's writing.
Okay.
and I
So-
have to say, I'm very envious of your ability to
Of
do.
my nerdness?
No, of your ability to do what you're doing. You're
Yeah,
doing a
that's,
great job.
And then Article 28, no S on that. And then I thought the South Cape Estates road taking plan should be in quotation marks, and in the warrant articles for it, it's in all caps. Like the entire word, every word is all caps and in quotations. And then also, just before you mention the name of the road taking plan, I thought that there should be a "for" in there. Article 28 authorizes the select board to accept plan layouts as public ways for the plans entitled
Okay.
South Cape Beach,
Oh, yeah. South Cape Estates.
or South Cape Estates, not beach. And then there's a period after Jeff,
Oh, yeah, there is.
and then I think that my name should go above Glenn's, no offense, Glenn, but we're,
Good
if,
done.
if you're going in
they-
alphabetical order, that's incorrect.
It's supposed to be going in alphabetical order.
Yeah,
But,
So I should be-
yeah.
so I should be above Glenn.
Yep.
Sorry.
Not a problem.
No,
Yeah, I went alphabetical by first name there.
well, see, you did it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Well, I figured that you're first, and then the
no,
vice chair, and then
right.
the clerk, and then
Right.
they should be alphabetical.
Right,
Yeah,
right, and I was going alphabetical by first
by
name.
first name.
But you're right.
It was alphabetical nonetheless.
All right.
Is that why I'm at the end?
Yep.
Yep. All right. Thank you for your help with that. All right. Now, the last thing is just to, at least this is a sample of
Jamie, you're.
the charts and graphs and stuff that will be going into the report at this point. It's not finalized, other than, the first one definitely is, because that's coming from the town.
Is ours just not blue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of these I need to verify with Dawn, the amounts and calculations, particularly the tax rate charts. Most of the numbers will tie out to the budget and everything like that. So,
You do a great job on this.
Um,
I think the residents really appreciate
I hope
meeting and
so.
seeing these.
I hope so. Now, the only thing, and, there's a
Skip
couple of
that.
things. The capital improvement, I need to get, what was actually spent in 2023 to add to that chart. And don't know whether I should notate the 2024 budget amount like we did last year, because that was a huge jump from the year before.
Yeah.
Whether we want to do that, or just, since that's already been approved and everything, just focus on the 2025 amount, which is so large because of the 96 million. So, that's that. The other thing I was thinking about added based on a comment, public comment that was made a few meetings ago, was putting a chart or table in there regarding basically the free cash. How much the balance is, how much is in the articles, and what the net amount would be. If you think that something we should add and show the people.
You know, before I was in this committee, I didn't even have any clue about free cash. So it could be very helpful.
Yeah, I think so. And especially because it was brought up,
Yeah,
it
I
wouldn't
think
hurt.
the more information they have, I mean, we're transparent, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the town, I think, is transparent in giving us the information, so certainly it should be shared.
Okay, I will work something up for that then.
Did anybody else get the survey from the?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
and
I filled it
one of the questions was, should this packet be available online? Or should it continue to be mailed out to everybody, or should it be a combination? I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, we actually had a discussion on that last week.
Oh,
John Miller was here.
yeah, oh, that makes sense then. I was
And-
sick from catching pneumonia at the library.
Well, I can
No,
understand
at
that.
the library?
And basically the consensus amongst us was that, we'll continue to produce a hard copy, make people aware that there is an electronic copy available.
Yeah.
Which we believe is accurate, that there is one out there, and if not, to start having it available electronically, and work towards making more and more people there, but I don't think we're gonna get away from
Mailing it out.
actually mailing one out.
Probably not soon.
For a
No,
while.
no, I think there are so many people that are
There's a
used to it.
generation out there
I was
that
going
will
to
not get it online.
Right.
I was going to say,
Hit it with a
I
point.
think, yes. No, I think, as time goes on, the natural order is going to be that it's going to be on.
Yeah.
As more and more
But we're not
people,
there yet.
as more and more people get used to looking up things online and researching it and finding what they need, the information they need there, as opposed to needing something hard to look at. They may go away, or at least be able to be accessed more easily online to request a hard copy. Doing print on demand, but who knows how much that will actually cost. doing print on demand as opposed to
You're gonna have to do it-
printing all of these.
You're gonna have to do it slowly. I mean,
Yeah.
And you can't just, 1 year just
No,
decide.
no, it's gotta be phased in.
It's gotta be phased out.
Give people time to get used to the new. All right, that's everything I have on the agenda. Does anybody have anything else? I have nothing. Next meeting will be March 21st. That will be our drop dead meeting. This is where we have to finalize everything
Yeah.
because the next day, it's gotta go to Carrie Cook to go to the publisher.
So we'll definitely get those people in to
Yes,
discuss those
yeah,
new articles.
Yeah, because they will be executing the warrant, I believe that Monday. So, now, I don't know whether or not we'll be able to get anybody from the Cape Cod Technical or Regional High School or not, but they will be presenting Monday night at the select board meeting, if anybody wants to go there.
Yeah, or we could watch it on TV.
The
What
only,
time is the meeting there? The select board?
I don't know what time
I
the
can't
select
remember
board
the
is.
6 or 6:30, maybe
Uh,
6:30, I think. It's usually right here in this room.
It doesn't say the start time. No. There it is. 6:30.
Yeah.
Yep. The only thing we have to be careful of is not having more than 3 of us present at that. Because then it would constitute an open meeting violation. for
I'll
us.
just watch it on TV.
And I generally do as well.
All right? But anybody wants to go there, ask any
But I-
questions of them and bring it back to us?
And I'm sure Greg will be
I'm
there.
sure
Greg
Greg
is
will be
there.
there by then.
Yes, Greg will be there.
All right. And with that, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
To adjourn.
Richard's a second.
Yeah, I'm a second.
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none. Any opposition to adjourning? Hearing none. Passed by unanimous consent. Thank you all very much for all your time.
Thank you.
Your hard work.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
Yeah.